Welcome. You're watching the Trade Setup with me, Tamanna. Very good morning to all of you. And it's been an exciting set of events overnight. A lot happening in the global markets, US markets, Asian markets. But the big story today seems to be expiry. That's what the focus is going to be on. So before I get into the details of what you need to watch out for all day, let me just give you, in a sense, the crisp key takeaways. Expiry is going to be the big one. Global news flow will have a lot of focus. Crude is looking scarily zooming towards the $100 mark, above $95. And you have in China the Evergrande founder under house arrest of sorts, under police control, and those stocks suspended on trading. Some interesting IPO action also taking place today, and we'll get to the stocks to watch. So let's go through all of this one by one. Let me start with the global news flow. US markets have been jittery. The Dow was down about 0.2% at 33,550. Futures were up marginally. S&P 500 also down. But through the day, through the trade on all morning on the Dow, we have seen that fear continuing on bond yields. The same old story about whether inflation will return, interest rates, will they continue to be higher? And that fear continued. European markets also had that kind of a bad day. European markets, in fact, closed at a 6-month low. And in Asian markets, the big theme seems to be the slow implosion of the Chinese real estate story. And we've been seeing that happening over the last many months. In a sense, things have come to a peak now with the trading of Evergrande stocks being halted in Hong Kong. Evergrande is one of the largest and most sprawling real estate conglomerates in China, and its founder was put under quote-unquote police control, essentially house arrest, because they have now defaulted on their payments. So those are some of the big cues. Let me go through other global cues. The US dollar index at 106.6, the 10-year yield at 4.61. So that's come off a bit from earlier scarier levels. Brent is going to be the big story. Crude is going to be the big story. Brent at 96.5, NYMEX at 93.82. Gift Nifty was down 0.28%, and Bitcoin was up about 0.5%. A quick look at how markets fared. Markets on Wednesday saw a bit of an improvement after quite a few choppy sessions. So ahead of expiry, markets seemed anxious, poised, but in the green, both the Nifty and the Sensex. FIIs were selling compared to DIIs, but the quantum of selling in FIIs had eased off as well. The big story, though, today undoubtedly is going to be about expiry, and I've called in Agam to join us for more on that. You have the September series expiry Nifty, Bank Nifty.
Yeah.
What are the levels looking like, Agam, and what is everyone watching out for? Is it going to be a rocky, volatile day?
Right. So, Tamanna, to set the context, we've seen the indices hit life highs in this very month. And since then, we've also seen these indices come off and take a step back. We're in a place where there is uncertainty whether we could see further weakness or consolidation. It is highly unlikely that we could see strength going further in. At least that's what the data is indicating. At the moment, what we're seeing as far as the Nifty is concerned, towards the rollovers, we really haven't seen too much. It's an average sort of a rollover with 1 day left to expiry. If you look at 61%, not too high. And we're really not seeing too much in terms of open interest rollover is either. As far as Bank Nifty futures are concerned, the picture is not very different. Again, around 60%, 59% to be precise. Not too much change there either. So there's a little bit of uncertainty. And we're at a range where the markets are waiting for either a trigger or some of the relatively larger traders to take a decision on the direction. That is where we start seeing some amount of action. But for now, consolidation is what we're looking at, and that's indicative of the option premiums as well. Take a look at the Nifty range based on maximum open interest. A 200-point range a day before expiry is not what we usually come to see. We see a relatively larger range of around 300, 400, 500 points, but 200 points is what the range is indicating today. There may be a lot of volatility within this particular range, but I say this volatility because of the premiums possibly being already so contracted could largely move around, taking cues from the underlying. Moving on to the Bank Nifty, the picture is actually only slightly different because the indicative range is for about 1,000 points. But again, as far as the Bank Nifty is concerned, 44,500. That's been a crucial pivot point over the last 4 months. And we once again saw the Bank Nifty test that level and close above that mark. So should we see the traders defend that particular level, then we very well could see a consolidation, but below that level we could see further weakness as far as the Bank Nifty is concerned. Is it going to be a volatile expiry? The option premiums, Tamanna, are very, very contracted, which means that there is more of a risk, a reward play out for those who go long in the markets and long options as compared to short options. In that case, we are likely to see a lot of change in option premiums, but we're going to have to wait and watch. On the whole, it does look like at the moment it's going to be a quiet expiry, though.
All right, a quiet expiry is not necessarily bad news when there's so many other factors going on, especially global factors.
Right.
And we'll have to wait and see how the crude story also plays out. That's also looking increasingly a difficult one. But let's focus in on what's interesting, what's on my radar this morning as you're going into trade. An interesting story that came up this morning, actually in papers on Cipla. Cipla promoters are in advanced talks with two consortiums, one led by Torrent Pharma, with the participation of prominent family offices, and the other, a group of buyout firms led by BPEA EQT and General Atlantic, to sell a controlling stake in India's fourth largest drug maker for $6 to $7 billion. So Cipla has two people wooing it, two groups wooing it, and that's probably going to be something to watch in the pharma space. Again, Aurobindo had some news coming in. Its unit Oro Vaccine has tied up with Singapore's Hillman Laboratories to manufacture and sell pentavalent vaccine candidate used in children's vaccines. It will receive royalties once that vaccine candidate is commercialized. KEC International, also in the news, the company has received orders from various GST authorities in mid-September, 13th and 16th, with claims of 20.9 crore rupees. Now, this is becoming a recurrent theme of GST notices rocking the boat for several companies in sectors. We saw that with Delta Corp as well. So that's one stock definitely to watch. Vedanta is interesting. Vedanta has been in the news a lot. Remember, the stock was down 6% on Wednesday after that Moody's downgrade. And then there is news now there could be a demerger, that the company could be seeing a split in the coming days and could be listing parts of its sprawling corporate entity into different entities. So Vedanta will definitely be one to watch. ONGC as well. Two sort of news triggers. One is an MOU with NTPC Green Energy for development of renewable energy projects, and they've inked a crude oil pact with MRPL as well. Dixon again has been sort of the toast of the town, hit a 52-week high, and post-closing yesterday, new news came in that they're getting into smartphone manufacturing with Xiaomi. The company unit Padgett Electronics has this pact with Xiaomi for manufacturing smartphones and related products. Info Edge, once again in the news, and a stock to watch definitely, will be investing $500,000 in Insight as a service platform, SkyServe. Manappuram Finance says the Kerala High Court directed the Enforcement Directorate to return and release all original documents of properties frozen within 3 weeks. So positive news there for Manappuram Finance. I have to also make a quick mention of the primary market. The IPO space is completely on fire. A lot of new paper out there. So in the IPO watch, Yatra will be listing. Valiant Laboratories IPO has got a 33% share demand on its first day of sale. With the offer closing, JSW Infra was really one of the sort of well-received IPOs of recent times, 37.4 times subscription. Data Services IPO got 2.9 times bid for shares on sale, and Signature Global surged 17.4% on trade. So an exciting day up ahead. That's it for me on the trade setup. Hope you have a great day, and of course, stay with BQ Prime.